The CRC had two broad objectives. One was to improve the profitability and productivity of existing farming systems by inserting perennials into those systems, and the second was to develop new regional industries, and the mechanism that the CRC focused on to do that was the new woody crops program.
The mallee option was taken on by Future Farm Industry CRC because it was so innovative in the case for mallee, because of the multiple benefits that mallees can deliver on a farm. It's a remarkable tree. It uses an amazing amount of water in the landscape, and by doing that, there's a number of environmental benefits that can be delivered because of greater water control in the landscape, but also provides shelter. It provides habitat for wildlife, and this has been demonstrated by CRC research, and it can be a potential new industry.
For a new industry to develop, you need three major components. The first is to have the feedstocks available for the industry. The second is to have the technologies that can convert the material into a useful end product, and obviously we need a market at the end of it. So you need those three components to make the system work.
Mallees are a large group of eucalypts. There's a couple of different species, but we've zeroed in on several of them that are mainly native West Australian ones that are well adapted to what we think will be high productivity and robustness, toughness enough to live in a difficult landscape because they're perennial plants. They're selected, at least theoretically, for high biomass production so that we have a good harvest, a good yield of material that can then go into commercial products. The mallees are tough, can be harvested on a regular short cycle. And that minimises their impact, while at the same time they can be extensively planted.
There are lots of benefits in having mallees growing on the farm. I think one of the main ones is just having the shoulder belts for lambing ewes and protection from the wind and cold in the wintertime. There's obviously the salinity benefits that come along as the trees get bigger and using up water.
What you see here is a pretty typical layout. Long, narrow belts of trees, spaced about 100 metres or so apart, usually some multiple of cultivation rows or cultivation widths for the conventional equipment that farmers use. The trees are more or less on the contour because it's very desirable to intercept as much water as possible, both to get better yield, but also to use more water, because that is ultimately the cause of the groundwater accumulation in the valleys just downslope from here. And so we can kill two birds with one stone. The layout is also well designed. We can build into the design convenience for a harvesting operation. So the harvester will be a one-row harvester, and there will be multiples of rows and a continuity of these belts, as you see here, across the paddock, so that the machine can operate efficiently with little downtime between areas of belt.
The development of a harvesting system is critical to the efficient delivery of woody crop materials into a processing stream. To do this, we developed, in conjunction with Biosystems Engineering, essentially a combine harvester for woody crops, which cuts the trees off and chips them in one go and then delivers them as chipped material. One of the really important things about this system is that the crops regrow after the harvest, and so you can harvest them time after time. The harvester was a success for the CRC. It effectively harvested mallees and other eucalypts that we trialled it on, and the intellectual property for the harvester has actually been sold to Biosystems Engineering, who we developed the machine with, and they're looking to develop the next commercial phase of the machine. One of the key things in developing a new industry is that you need an end use, and for the mallee industry there is the potential of providing material to produce sustainable jet fuel for the aviation industry.
Virgin Australia and the whole industry are committed to addressing their greenhouse gas emissions and their sustainability. We have an aspirational target of carbon neutral growth from 2020. To do that, we have a number of strategies. Where we can get the large reduction is through renewable jet fuel. So studies that we've undertaken have shown that it is possible to produce renewable jet fuel to the right quality, sustainably, and at the right cost, utilising local feedstocks from right around Australia. We were aware of the work being undertaken by the Future Farm Industry CRC on the woody crop program, and we partnered with them to look at building the supply chain to provide the fuel we required for our aircraft. It's important that the fuel that we utilise not only fulfills the cost criteria as well as the quality and volume, but is also sustainable. The work that the Future Farm Industry CRC are doing with the mallee program demonstrates that sustainability angle as well as the quality and quantity aspect.
The intent was that we would be probably harvesting by now and we'd be getting a commercial benefit from that harvest process, which still seems to be a long way off.
Despite farmers having planted significant areas of mallees in southwest WA, the supply chain is currently incomplete. The lack of a regionally based production capacity is a limitation to the development of the mallee industry. We look forward to the day when these regional industries are fully developed.
I think mallees will eventually hold a huge benefit for agriculture because it's an alternative crop. It's got multiple benefits and it's got the potential to be a large industry on its own. I guess I'm a true believer in the mallee system, so anyone that's considering what to do with their mallees if they already have them on the farm, then it's a real problem at the moment, but I believe in hanging in for the future, and I guess you've already done the work, so why knock them out? And when there's possibly something going to happen, in the relatively near future.
It's an impressive little portfolio of benefits that mallees could do, but it is awaiting a new industry to take it on, and that's really where the anticipation is now. Will there be a new industry? And the CRC and its partners are working on some short-term opportunities to build that industry.